Welcome to the first day of your exciting new career. Whether you were approached at a job fair, read our ad and screws, bolts, and hairpins, or if this is the result of a dare, we welcome you. I will be your personal guide to help you get started. I'm a Model 5 of the Handyman's Robotics and Unit Repair System, but you can call me Hand Unit. Your new career promises challenge, intrigue, and endless janitorial opportunities. Please enter your name as seen above the keypad. This cannot be changed later, so please be careful.
Greetings, dear viewers. I'm Quill Quickcard, and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, and happy Halloween. Obviously, my name has a Q, and an I, and then an S and a P.
It seems that you had some trouble with the keypad.
No, I got it right.
You were trying to type, and I will auto-correct it for you. One moment. Welcome, Eggs Benedict.
See, it knew who I was. No problem at all. Hi.
You can now open the elevator using that bright, red, and obvious button. Let's get to work.
Alright. Can I turn off visible cursor? I could. Honestly, let's just leave it.
Allow me to fill this somewhat frightening silence.
I do not like horror games.
And even more so the
I
closing of Freddy
don't play them
It was
much.
clear that the stage was set. No
But
pun
after
intended,
years
for
and
another
years and
competition
years of
show
putting it
must
off,
continue.
I've decided to
Unlike most
finally
entertainment
actually
venues, our
play
robotic
a spooky
entertainers are
game
rented
for
out
Halloween.
Private parties during the day. And
Now,
your job to get the robot
I've
back
never
in proper
actually
working order
played
before the following
the
morning.
Five Nights at Freddy's except for like Pizzeria Simulator and then a few minutes of Ultimate Custom Night. But I have watched the videos of them being played. I've seen all of Markiplier's stuff on them. So I do have like a good understanding of what is going on and how to actually play the game. So let's see how it goes. I can actually see it way better on my second monitor
You are now in the
through
primary
OBS.
control module. It's actually a crawl space between the two front showrooms.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's get started with your daily tasks. View the window to your left. This is the Ballora Gallery Party Room and Dance Studio, encouraging kids to get fit and enjoy pizza.
Do they
Let's turn
have
on
to
the light
blink at
and see
me?
if Ballora is on stage. Press the
Good
blue
question.
button on the elevated keypad to your left.
Nope, no Ballora.
Uh-oh. It looks like Ballora doesn't feel like dancing. Let's give her some motivation. Press the red button now to administer a controlled shock. Maybe that will put the spring back in her step.
Yeah, okay.
Let's check the light again. Excellent. Ballora is feeling like her old self again and will be ready to perform again tomorrow. Now view the window to your right. This is the Funtime Auditorium, where Funtime Foxy encourages kids to play and share. Try the light. Let's see what Funtime Foxy is up to.
I'm sure he's doing fine.
Looks like Funtime Foxy is taking the day off. Let's motivate Funtime Foxy with a controlled shock.
Sure, I can't see anything wrong with that.
Let's try another controlled shock.
There we go.
Looks like Funtime Foxy is in perfect working order. Great job. In front of you is another vent shaft. Crawl through it to reach the Circus Gallery control module.
Alright, I'm sure that's fine. Crawling, crawling, crawling through the vents, because that is my job, apparently. It's what I get paid for.
Motion trigger. Circus gallery vent.
Okay. I mean, that's probably me. So, no reason to worry.
On the other side of the glass is Circus Baby's auditorium. Let's check the light and see what Baby is up to. Looks like a few of the lights are out, but we can fix that later. Let's encourage Baby to cheer up with a controlled shock.
Yeah, baby. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. And electrical.
Let's try another controlled shock.
I'm a hero.
Let's try another controlled shock. Great job, Circus Baby. We knew we could count on you. That concludes your duties for your first night on the job. We don't want you to leave overwhelmed, otherwise you might not come back. Please leave using the vent behind you, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough. S to go back. That's probably
Motion
fine.
trigger. Circus gallery vent.
That's probably fine. Shift complete. Enjoy some time at home. I'm a hard worker.
Another day, another dramatic entry in the lives of Vlad and his distressed mistress. Where will they go? What will they do? All of that and more happening now.
I love that's basically just photorealistic popcorn.
I tell you that it is. You're the only vampire I've ever loved. And the baby turns his bottles into powdered milk.
That doesn't mean anything.
He sleeps on the ceiling fan.
Upright or upside down.
What does it matter? You need to be part of your son's life.
I'm an old man, Clara. I can't be a father.
Well, then at least pay your child support, you deadbeat.
Will Vlad and his distressed mistress find common ground? Tune in next time.
How dare you interrupt my eating popcorn simulator? You rat bastard!
Daddy, you let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go?
Welcome back for another night of intellectual stimulation.
I don't know if the little
Career
girl's
choices,
voice was
and
actually going to be
self-reflection
audible
past
on the
mistakes.
recording.
We're committed to creating a unique and fulfilling work experience. One part of that commitment is ensuring that you don't get tired of the voice that you're hearing right now. Using the keypad below, please select a new companion voice. For male, press 1. For female, press 2. For text only, press 3. For other options, press 4.
I will type in seductive
It seems that you had some
vixen.
trouble with the keypad. I see what you were trying to type, and I will autocorrect it for you. Thank you for choosing Angsty Teen.
That's close, but not quite a seductive vixen. And by close, I mean not at all. I chose to play this one for Halloween specifically because it's a series of different types of events throughout the day.
The elevator stopped. You know the routine. You can get out now or whatever. Stay here if you want.
Nah, I'll be good.
So, funny story. A dead body was found in this vent once. Okay, so not that funny, but it's a story.
It's actually really interesting how much clearer and brighter this looks on OBS. That actually really surprises me.
Okay, let's start with your nightly chores. You should check on Ballora and make sure she's on her stage, but whatever. Huh. I guess Ballora has better things to do. Let's zap her. That should be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Problem solved. Yeah, that was probably fine.
Let's check on Funtime Foxy. Make sure he's ready for showtime tomorrow.
I'm sure he is. Funtime Foxy's a cooperator.
Great. Great. Great.
There seems to have been a problem with the voice synthesizer. Default settings have been restored. Please proceed through the vent ahead of you to Circus Baby's auditorium.
My left arm and shoulder have been hurting the last couple days. Got a couple of those icy hot patches on it. With the menthol and the lidocaine, I'm sure this is going to
Circus gallery vent.
help out a lot.
Circus Baby had a busy day today. Let's check the light and make sure she's in proper working order. Oh, Circus Baby, we aren't here to play hide and seek. Let's encourage Baby to come out of hiding with a controlled shock.
Sounds good. Well,
Let's try
that's
another
concerning.
Controlled shock.
Uh-oh.
There seems to be a power malfunction that is affecting our ability to properly motivate Baby. Please stand by while I reboot the system. I will be offline momentarily during this process. Various other systems may be offline as well, such as security doors, vent locks, and oxygen. Commencing system restart.
Well, that's not good.
Motion trigger. Entryway vent.
Uh-oh.
Funtime auditorium maintenance vent opened. Ballora gallery maintenance vent opened.
That's probably bad.
I don't recognize you. You are new. I remember this scenario, however. It's a strange thing to want to do, to come here. I'm curious what events would lead a person to want to spend their nights in a place like this. Willingly. Maybe curiosity, maybe ignorance. There is a space under the desk. Someone before you crafted it into a hiding place, and it worked for him. I recommend that you hurry, though. You will be safe there. Just try not to make eye contact.
All right.
It will be over soon. They will lose interest.
All right. First minigame of the experience. So we just have to keep our mouse cursor close to the grab here position. Okay. I think in this spot, none of the eyes can actually see me. It's probably fine. We just have to get ready for the for when it starts to open. Yep. Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay, it's closed. Now we'll put the flashlight back here. I don't believe that I can make contact with any of the eyes from this position. Nope. No. No. That's getting pretty wide, actually. Okay. Not bad. Okay, that worked.
When your guide comes back online, he is going to tell you that he was unsuccessful, that you must restart the system manually. He will then tell you to crawl through Ballora Gallery as fast as you can to reach the breaker room. If you follow his instructions, you will die. Ballora will not return to her stage anymore. She will catch you. The power will be restored shortly. When you crawl through Ballora Gallery, go slowly. She cannot see you and can only listen for your movement. When you hear her music become louder, she is growing near, listening for you. Wait and be still.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience. It seems that the power system cannot be restarted automatically. You will need to restart the power system manually. Please return to the primary control module.
This is one of my favorite of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I mean, you know, from having seen them played. Because I feel like this is the game where it really
Circus gallery.
took a really hard turn away from its old formula and evolved into something that was completely new
You will
and
now
different.
be required to crawl through the Ballora Gallery using the vent to your left to reach the breaker room.
Okay.
It is recommended that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora. I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
Okay. So keep moving except when I hear noise. I can already hear her music very audibly. I can actually keep a close eye on OBS, and that gives me an objective measure of the volume. Okay. She's on my right side now.
It seems you are taking a long time. Please proceed as quickly and as quietly as possible.
I remember Mark jumped out of his skin when that voice clicked in. Okay, it's getting a lot louder on the right. Nice. Okay, it's a fair bit quieter now. Dang. Not quiet enough, though. Alright, there is my first jump scare of
You will
the
now
game.
be required to crawl through the Ballora Gallery using the vent
Can
to your
I...
left to reach the breaker room.
Okay,
It
I
is
can't skip your
recommended that
dialogue,
you stay
I
low
think.
to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora. I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
Alright, let's try again.
Maintenance vent opened.
Alright, so the auditory threshold actually changes the further that you go through the Ballora Gallery. Either that, or it actually has a trigger associated with standing still for too long. Okay. So right around the minus 40 decibel point is when she's gonna jump me.
You
So
will now
anything,
be required to crawl through
anything
the
below
Ballora Gallery
that
using the
threshold
vent to your
should
left
be
to
safe.
reach the breaker room. It is recommended that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora. I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
Alright, let's do this.
Ballora Gallery maintenance vent opened.
Okay. So again, looking at my OBS, minus 40 dB seems to be the trigger point. I am literally just looking at OBS. Like, I am just looking at the equalizer and, like, nothing else. Okay, we're good. We should be getting... Nope. Okay. I would say we should have been just about to the point where Handy would jump back in with some more voice lines, but that would appear that I was incorrect.
You will now be required to crawl through the Ballora Gallery using the vent to your left to reach the breaker room. It is recommended that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora. I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
I'll be honest, the shoulder
Ballora
really
Gallery
hurts.
maintenance vent opened.
Okay. She's on my right side. Peak around minus 45. That's again a peak around minus 45. The sad thing is that due to the audio mixing, I would imagine that anyone listening to this can barely hear
It
any
seems
of
you are
the...
taking a long time. Please proceed as quickly and as quietly as possible.
can barely hear any of the music at all. And yet the audio cue is like very crucial to the game experience. Okay, I hear her. That was a peak close to minus 40 decibels. That one actually peaked above 40 dB. Okay. That's peaking... Still not quite at 40. Just a little bit longer. Okay, right side peaking close to 40. Left side peaking close to 40. Both below minus 45. Left side's getting a lot closer. Still minus 45. Okay. Right side is starting to peak again near minus 40. She should be more behind me now based on the audio mix. Okay.
Motion trigger breaker room.
You may now interface with the breaker control box. Using the interface may disrupt nearby electronics. If you feel you are in danger, feel free to disconnect the interface temporarily until it is safe to reconnect.
Okay.
Calm down and go back to sleep. No one is here.
What am I... Oh, okay. Okay. Dang. Alright. Let's try again. So I believe the gimmick here is that...
You will now be required to crawl through the Ballora gallery using the vent to
really?
your left to reach
It
the
makes you
breaker
do
room.
that section
It is
again, too?
recommended that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora.
Alright.
I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance.
At the very least, I want to get through night 2. I mean, come on.
Maintenance vent opened.
One of the things I don't like about a lot of horror games, and this definitely goes far beyond, like, you know, just the Five Nights at Freddy's games. But one of the things I really don't like about a lot of horror games is that a lot of the time they have a focus on player punishment as opposed to terror and horror. Like, the fact that I have to redo this bothers me a lot more than just the jump scares. You know, even though I don't know exactly when the jump scares are coming.
Gallery using the vent to your left to reach the breaker room.
I mean, you've been watching. I think
stay
you
low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora. I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
Like, you've been watching me now, and you've probably noticed that I have very, very little reaction to the jump scares. That isn't to say that you can't get me with jump scares. I've seen plenty of horror games played. I've seen my fair share of scary movies, even if they aren't, like, something I actively seek out a lot. Jump scares absolutely can and do get me. That is something I get, and then they'll freak me out. But you have to have something other than a jump scare. And with a lot of horror games that I have seen, and believe me, definitely not the majority, there are so many incredibly good horror games out there. But there's also a lot of them that I really feel have exactly two tricks. And that trick is, 1, jump scare, and 2, punish the player with loss of progress. And I just feel like you need more than that to make, like, a really engaging experience, you know? Speaking of needing an engaging experience, when and is Markiplier's, like, Iron Lung movie finally going to come out? Hasn't that been in post-production for, like, 2 years now? Is that still a thing that's happening? I don't know. I don't actually follow any of, like, the social media. I really don't follow any of the social media stuff around any of the creators that I watch. So, I genuinely couldn't tell you. Okay. But I do remember that there was a specific way. Okay, that was not the right way to do that. Whoops. Yeah, there was some specific arrangement of using the ammo here where you could actually feed every single kid. One of the only games I ever really played that actually really kind of freaked me out, weirdly enough,
it is recommended
was
that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb.
I am trying to talk, Handy. I am talking.
As to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
One of the only games I ever really played that I think was actually trying to be scary and actually did disturb me a fair bit was Fear, which was basically just a very generic first-person shooter that was vaguely wrapped in a veneer with a spooky story and, you know, creepy psychic girl. And that's even being a little disingenuous to it. That game actually did a very good job of making me feel very uncomfortable. One of the main ways that I have handled spooky games, those few times that I have played them before, is simply through sensory minimization. Typically, I just turn off the audio for them, and then, you know, I can handle the rest fine. A visual jump scare is significantly easier for me to deal with than an auditory jump scare. You know what? I think
you will now be required to crawl through the Ballora gallery using the vent to your left to reach the breaker room. It is recommended that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side as fast as possible as to not disturb Ballora. I will deactivate myself momentarily as to not create an auditory disturbance. Deactivating.
Having to listen to that dialogue every time is so annoying. Alright, this is gonna be my last attempt. I've honestly kind of felt obligated to put out something for Halloween that was actually, you know, like more horror related. Since I basically danced around it for years. I mean, I played Castlevania, I've done Vampire Survivors, I've done like spook season related things, but really kind of avoided actual horror games. And I really don't get much out of them. I can certainly appreciate ones that are, you know, very well made and have interesting mechanics when I see other people play them. But they just really don't do anything for me. Like, I don't find them particularly interesting.
It seems you are taking a long time. Please proceed as quickly and as quietly as possible.
And I definitely don't find it to be something that provides me like a sense of entertainment personally. It's just not something that I really enjoy, you know. So yeah. I'm giving this like the best try that I can. Like I am really trying at this. But you know, whether I succeed or not here on day 2, this is going to be where it's going to be done for the episode. I don't have any plans on making this like, you know, a recurring series or anything. You know, unless there's like, you know, significant interest in that from viewers. But I'm at least glad that I could put out something horror related, and if nothing else, I'd hope I have at least been able to
You will now
express...
be required to crawl through the Ballora gallery using the vent to your left to reach the breaker room. It is recommended that you stay low to the ground and reach the other side
I
as
do
fast
hope
as
that at the
possible as
very
to not
least,
disturb Ballora.
through this, I have been
will
able to
deactivate myself
express
momentarily
why
as to not
I
create
really
an
don't play
auditory
horror
disturbance.
games, and why I
Deactivated.
tend to think that me playing horror games would not be particularly good content to watch either. I just don't personally believe that my reactions to horror games would be interesting content. I could be wrong, you know, people like watching different things, but you know, in general, I think my reactions are very subdued, even when they do catch me off guard. And I don't really feel particularly fulfilled by them. But nevertheless, I am glad that I actually got to put out a horror game on the channel so that it can be there and people can watch and be like, oh, yeah, I'm glad he doesn't play more of those. But who knows? Maybe for some God only knows what reason, this will become very popular and I will basically be roped into a condemned lifetime of playing horror games, which would be absolutely terrible. But at least I would do it knowing that people were entertained. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.